when 39-year-old David Glenn Lewis disappeared from his home in Texas on Super Bowl Sunday in 1993, no one could have anticipated the mystery that would follow. He left behind a home filled with signs of an unfinished day, fresh laundry, a half-eaten meal, and his glasses lying on the counter. But when David's body was discovered hundreds of miles away in a remote desert days after he vanished, the story took a chilling twist. This is the baffling and tragic case of David Glenn Lewis. His disappearance, his mysterious journey, and the questions that linger to this day. David Glenn Lewis was a respected attorney, a devoted husband, and a loving father from Amarillo, Texas. Known for his commitment to his family and work, David led a stable and seemingly routine life. His wife and young daughter were his pride and joy, and he was well liked in his community. To everyone who knew him, David was a man without any known enemies or dark secrets. But on January 28, 1993, David's ordinary life took a strange turn. His family returned home from a short trip to find that David was missing, and the house felt eerily untouched. What started as a simple missing person case quickly spiraled into a complex web of unanswered questions and bizarre details. David's disappearance began as a mystery that seemed to defy explanation. His wife and daughter had been out of town for the weekend, only to return and find him gone. Inside the home, police found all the signs of a day cut short. A freshly prepared meal left on the counter, David's watch and wedding ring placed on a dresser, and the television tuned to a Super Bowl pregame show. His car, strangely, was parked outside an airport several miles away, but there was no record of David boarding a flight. Baffled by these odd details, David's family launched a desperate search, hoping for clues that might explain his disappearance. But as days passed without answers, the case grew colder, until a shocking discovery was made hundreds of miles away. On February 1st, 1993, 2 days after David went missing, a body was discovered on a desolate highway in Yakima County, Washington, over 1,600 miles from his Texas home. The man appeared to have been struck by a vehicle, and there were no signs of identification or personal belongings on him. Authorities struggled to identify the body, and without further clues, the case remained unsolved for over a decade. It wasn't until 2004, through advancements in fingerprint technology, that investigators finally confirmed the deceased man's identity. To everyone's shock, it was David Glenn Lewis, the attorney who had gone missing in Texas. But how did David end up in Washington state, and what could have led to his death on that desolate road? As investigators pieced together David's last known movements, a series of bizarre details came to light. On the day he disappeared, a plane ticket was purchased in David's name from Dallas to Amarillo, but no one could confirm if he ever boarded that flight. Eyewitness reports placed David at multiple locations in the days leading up to his death, including one sighting of him walking barefoot along a Washington highway. Strangely, David's credit cards and driver's license had been left at home, and there was no clear evidence of why he would travel so far from Texas. Questions swirled. Was David running from something, or was he on his way to meet someone? Investigators were left with a puzzle, where each piece only deepened the mystery. The strange circumstances surrounding David's disappearance have given rise to multiple theories. Some believe he may have suffered a sudden mental health crisis or amnesia, causing him to travel aimlessly without any recollection of his actions. Others speculate that David might have been targeted or involved in something he couldn't escape. There are theories that he was attempting to flee from a perceived threat or had stumbled upon information that put him in danger. Those closest to David, however, found it difficult to believe that the dedicated husband and father they knew would abandon his family voluntarily. The lack of definitive answers has kept the case shrouded in mystery. To this day, the circumstances of David Glenn Lewis's disappearance and death remain unsolved. His tragic journey from Texas to Washington has left a legacy of questions that have never been answered. Why did David leave his home that day? Who, if anyone, was he trying to reach? And perhaps the most haunting question of all, did he meet with foul play, or was his death simply a tragic accident? For his family, the mystery of David's final days continues to cast a shadow over his memory. They are left with the painful reality that they may never know what truly happened to the man they loved. David Glenn Lewis's story is a reminder of how quickly life can change and how some mysteries may never be fully solved. His case leaves us wondering what led him on that strange journey and who or what was waiting for him at the end. If you have any ideas or thoughts on this unsolved case, please let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.